Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Battlewasp deck profile. So I'm really excited to do some for you guys because this deck is an extremely fun deck to play that we just got some amazing support for that takes this deck to a whole new level. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Rapier the Onslaught. This card is definitely a 3 of in the deck. This card is basically the Simoon for the deck if you guys have ever played Blackwings. This card has the ability, if you control no face-up monsters or only face-up monsters you control are insect monsters, you can actually discard one of their insect monster and place a Battlewasp Wind from your deck face-up in your spell and trap card zone. Then, special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon monsters in the extract for the rest of the turn, except insect monsters, which is totally fine because that's all we play in the extract anyways. This card also has the ability you can banish this card in the graveyard and reduce the level of one insect monster you control by 1, which is a great effect to be able to level modulate your monsters to go in for the exact synchro play that you need. We then play 3 copies of Sting the Poison. Sting the Poison is insane because this card is basically the Stratos for the deck that if this card is normal or special summon, you can actually add a Battlewasp monster from your deck to your hand. Also, quick effect, you contribute one of their insect monster and targeted effect monster your opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of the turn, which is such a powerful effect. This card is a tuner, a walking negate, and a Stratos for the deck, making it definitely a 3 of in the build. We then play a single copy of Arbalest. Arbalest is really good as a 1 of in the deck, as this card has the ability when this card is normal summoned, you can target a level 3 or lower insect monster in the graveyard and special summon that monster in defense position, which is a great effect to instantly bring back one of our insect monsters back to our side of the field. We then play a single copy of Twinbow. Twinbow is just a really good extender in the deck, because during the main phase you can special summon this card from your hand, which is a great effect to instantly bring this card out to your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Pin the Bullseye. Pin the Bullseye is really good as an extender as well, because if you control an insect monster, you can special summon this card in the hand, and also this card has the ability during the main phase, you can inflict 200 points of damage to your opponent for each Pin the Bullseye that you control, which is a pretty cool effect just to be able to do a little bit of burn damage to your opponent. We then play 3 copies of Crawler Soma. The Crawler engine in this deck is just really good to help you get a bunch of monsters out on your side of the field, as this card essentially lets you summon out 2 more Crawlers directly from your deck. This card lets you target a face-up monster that you control, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, change the targeted monster to face-down defense position. Also, it cannot change its battle position for the rest of the turn. Also, during your main phase, you reduce this card's level by 2 or 4, and if you do, special summon Crawler monsters with different names from your hand, deck, or graveyard, whose total level equal the amount that you reduced this card, which is a really cool effect to instantly get 2 Crawler monsters out on your side of the field. By reducing this card by 4 levels, you can summon out 2 level 4 Crawler monsters from anywhere just about, which is amazing. And the 2 Crawler monsters we play in the deck besides Soma is our copy of Spine, which is basically a man-eater bug, letting you, when it's split face up, target a monster on the field and destroy it, and a single copy of Dendrite. Dendrite is really good as a 1 of in the deck. This card is basically Foolish Barrel, that if it's split face up, you get to send a monster from your deck to the grave, which is a great effect. We then play for our B-Trooper engine. We're just playing 2 copies of Scout Buggy. 2 copies is really all you need because these cards roll together. This card has the ability that you cannot special summon monsters except insect monsters, and if this card is normal or special summon, you can actually special summon a B-Trooper Scout Buggy directly from your hand, deck, or graveyard, which is why I just play 2 copies in the deck, because you really don't super need 3 anymore in this build, because 2 just rolls one into the other, which is why I just play 2 in this deck. We also play a single copy of Sting Lancer. Sting Lancer is great in this deck as a 1-up, as this card is just amazing to summon out to your side of the field, because during the main phase, quick effect, you can actually target an insect monster in your grave, and a monster your opponent in your opponent's graveyard, and special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, place the targeted monsters on the bottoms of the decks, and if this card is normally special summoned, you can actually add a B-Trooper Spell or Trap from your deck to your hand, which we have some really cool targets you can actually search off this card's effect. We then play a single copy of Samurai Beetle. Samurai Beetle is just really good as a one-of in the deck, as this card has the ability you can actually special summon this card in your hand by placing one of your banished insect, plant, or reptile monsters on the bottom of your main deck, which you're always placing an insect monster on the bottom of the deck to get this card out on your side of the field, which is just really cool to be able to use. And also, this card is sent to the graveyard as a material for a Ragnaraka Link monster. You can target a level 4 or lower insect monster in your graveyard and special summon it to your side of the field in defense position, just bring back one of your materials, which is really nice. We then play 3 copies of Resonance Insect. Resonant Insect is definitely a 3-of in the build, and probably one of the most powerful insect monsters ever created. As if this card is sent from the field to the grave, you actually get to add a level 5 or higher insect monster from your deck to your hand, and if this card is banished, you can actually send an insect monster from your deck to the graveyard, except another copy of this card, which is a really cool effect to instantly get one of your bugs in the grave. We then play 2 copies of Supply Soldier. Supply Soldier is really good because this card is amazing in the deck and a new TCG exclusive that has the ability that when an insect monster effect is activated, quick effect, you can special summon this card from the hand, and if you activate this effect in response to your opponent's effect activation, you negate the effect. Also, until the end phase of the next turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon from the X deck except insect monsters, and during your main phase, you can actually fusion summon an insect fusion monster from your X deck using monsters in your hand or field, basically making this card a walking polymerization, which is amazing. We then play a single copy of Gokipole. Gokipole is just really good in the deck as a one-of and just helps us out with our combos. 1 copy of Beargrim. Beargrim is just massive and super easy to summon out. This card is a really cool effect that it cannot be normal summoner set. It must be special summoned from your hand or your graveyard by banishing 3 insect monsters from your hand and or grave, which is super easy to do to instantly bring out this 3,400 attack point monster. We also play a single copy of Scary Moth. Scary Moth is super easy to summon. This card is basically like Winda. It has the ability each player can only special summon a monster once per turn, which is insane that insects actually have access to a Winda that's in the main deck that's very easily sent to the graveyard and brought back to our side of the field. This card is amazing in the build as a one-of. We then also play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is definitely a 3-of in the deck to basically just stop your opponent from touching the deck. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is really good in the deck to help us bring out our copy of Cruel Saturn, which is such a cool card to be able to bring out to our side of the field. It's just such a powerful card to be able to bring out our copy of B-Trooper Cruel Saturn. We then buy a single copy of B-Trooper Descent. B-Trooper Descent is amazing in this deck, so let's special summon out a token to our side of the field, which is just amazing to instantly bring out a token, and also helps us pop back row, which is really nice. We then played 2 copies of Battlewasp Wind. I really like 2 copies in my build because just in case you draw into one, you still have one that you can place on your side of the field with Onslaught. And this card has the ability that twice per turn, if a Battlewasp monster is normal or special summoned to your side of the field, you can actually target one of them and then add a Battlewasp monster with less attack than that monster from your deck to your hand, basically being like Black Whirlwind for your Battlewasp, which is insane. It also has a really cool ability that once per turn, you can actually target an insect monster you control with a level, and this turn you can treat it as a tuner if you use it for a synchro material, which is a really cool effect to help you go in for your synchro plays. We then play 3 copies of Armored Rebellion. This card is really cool as a 3-of in the deck and just an amazing card overall because it lets you special summon an insect monster with 1,000 or less attack from your hand or deck. Then, if you special summon from the deck, you send a monster that you control to the graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest turn after this card resolves except insect monsters, and if a face-up insect synchro monster you control is destroyed by battle by card effect, while this card's in the graveyard, you can banish this card to add a Summoning Swarm from your deck to your hand, which is a pretty cool effect if you guys decide to play Summoning Swarm. I don't think it's really worth it, but it's still a really cool card to basically use this card like an E-Telly to get the exact monster you want on your side of the field. So, that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get in to the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Ragnaraka Hunting Dance. Hunting Dance is really cool to help you pop cards on the field, as this card lets you target cards your opponent controls up to the number of different monster types, which you're only ever going to control an insect monster. This card just helps you pop basically one card on the field, which is really nice to be able to do, and it's a great trap card that you can search off your copy of Ragnarok Mantis, which is really cool. We then play a single copy of Fly and Sting. Fly and Sting is just a great counter trap that we can instantly get to, and it's super easy to get to off your copy of Sting Lancer, and it's just a great card overall in the deck to be able to say no to your opponent. We can also play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is an amazing 3 of them in the deck to basically just stop your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. This card is really good in the deck as a 3 of and a fantastic hand trap alongside our copies of Ash Blossom. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get in to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of the new Battlewasp Revolution. This card is so cool to be able to summon out to your side of the field because it can come out absolutely massive. This card is actually generic and just requires a tuner plus a non-tuner to make this card. It cannot be destroyed by card effects, and insect synchro monster you control gain 200 attack for each of your banished insect monsters. And if this card is banished, you can actually special summon it. Then you can destroy cards your opponent controls up to the number of your banished insect monsters. Then you inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent for each card destroyed, which is an insane effect to be able to use. This card is an amazing boss monster, and really what Battlewasp needed outside the copies of Battlewasp Wind and the copy of Onslaught to be able to place your copy of your Battlewasp Wind on your side of the field. And then a single copy of the Menacing Mantis. Menacing Mantis is just really good as a 1-of in the deck, as if this card is synchro summon, you can send an insect monster and or a plant monster from your deck to the graveyard up to the number of non-tuners used for this card synchro summon, which is a really cool ability to instantly use this card as a Foolish Burial to get the exact card you need in the graveyard. We play a single copy of the Ceremonial Bow. Ceremonial Bow is really good as a 1-of synchro monster. As if this card is synchro summoned, you can actually treat it as a tuner, and once per turn, you can actually return a continuous spell that you control back to your hand, your copy of Battlewasp Wind basically, back to your hand. Then you can normal summon a Battlewasp monster during your main phase this turn in addition to your normal summoner set, which is a great effect to basically just use this card kind of like a copy of Nothung, which is absolutely insane how close Battlewasp actually are to Blackwings. But this is actually a really cool card effect to be able to use. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, you can actually inflict 100 points of damage to your opponent for each of your banished Battlewasp monsters, which is a great effect just to do a little bit of burn damage to your opponent. We then play a single copy of Cicada King. Cicada King is great because if this card's battle position is changed, you can special summon an insect monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position, which is a great effect to get your copy of Scary Moth onto your side of the field. Once you've gone full combo, you use this card as a negate, switch its battle position, and then summon out your copy of Scary Moth to your side of the field, which is such a cool effect. We play a single copy of Ultimate Great Insect. This card is super easy to summon out to your side of the field, as this card has the ability you can only special summon this card once per turn, and it must first be either Fusion Summon, which we're never doing, or special summon from your X deck by tributing an insect monster with 2,000 or more defense equipped with an equip card, which is really easy to do with your copy of your Inzektor Link monster, because you just equip a monster to one of your other monsters that has 2,000 or more defense, and then tribute it for your copy of Ultimate Great Insect, which is just a really powerful boss monster to bring out to your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Heavy Cavalry. Heavy Cavalry is also a new TCG exclusive that we just got, and it's a really cool card that cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. And if all face-up monsters that you control are insect monsters, which they always will be, quick effect, you can actually target 2 monsters on the field, including insect monster that you control, and banish them, which is a great effect to help you spot remove cards off the field. We then play a single copy of Cruel Saturn. Cruel Saturn is amazing in the deck and is our instant fusion target of the build. That you cannot special summon monsters except insect monsters. And this card also has the ability, if this card is special summon, you can add a battle or a B Trooper card from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect to instantly grab the exact B Trooper card you need from your deck to your hand. And if an insect monster is banished face up, you can actually target one of your banished B Trooper monsters and special summon it, which is a pretty cool effect. We play a single copy of Stag Sovereign. Stag Sovereign is an awesome boss monster to be able to bring out in this deck that's super easy to bring back from the graveyard. It also helps you pop cards on the field. One copy of Invincible Atlas. This card can get absolutely massive, going up to 5,000 attack points, which is insane to help you go in for game. One copy of Mantis Monk. Mantis Monk is great because it can search your copy of your Ragnarok trap card. We play a single copy of the Butterfly. Butterfly is really good because this card is just amazing, because if this card is link summoned, you can place a counter on it for each insect monster used for this card to link summon. And quick effect, you can actually remove a counter from this card, and then special summon a level 4 lower insect monster in the grave in defense, which is just great to be able to use this card as a monster reborn. And then my single copy of Adipus. Adipus is amazing in this deck as a 1/0, as this card is yellow. This link summon card is unaffected by traps, and all trap trick monsters you control gain 1000 attack while you have a normal trap in the graveyard, which is a really cool effect just to be able to bring out this link 3 at 2800 attack points. And it's just an awesome option to bring out. Also, once per turn, you can target face-up cards your opponent controls out to the number of insect and plant monsters you control and negate their effects until the end of the turn. Then you can apply the effect to banish a normal trap from a card from your graveyard, and if you do, you destroy one of those target's face-up cards, which is a really cool ability to basically just be able to negate cards on the field. And play a single copy of Armor Horn. Armor Horn is just amazing in this build as a 1/0, as this card just gives you an additional normal summon, and it's super easy to bring back to your side of the field by banishing 3 other insects from your graveyard. You can special summon out this card from the graveyard, and then finally play 2 copies of the Inzektor Link Monster. This card is great in the deck as a 2/0 because this card just is amazing to help you bring out your copy of your ultimate great insect. Because if this card is link summoned, you can discard a card and then target one of their insect monsters you control and equip an insect monster in your deck to this equip spell card, which you can equip a copy of Resonant Insect to it. And then once you tribute your monster on your side of the field, Resonant Insect will also touch the graveyard when you summon out Ultimate Great Insect, and you'll get a search, which is really nice. But this card also has a really cool ability that it also has the effect that you can target 3 insect monsters in your graveyard and shuffle in the deck and then draw a card, just helping you dig in the deck while also recycling some of your resources. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Battlewasp before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's so fun to be able to play and help you go in for game, and it can make some absolutely incredible fields now, especially now that we have the new support. So that's going to be this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of our notification squad. I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.